you some of your latest in sports now. It's day 2 of the Netball World Cup in Cape Town. New Zealand, Fiji, Jamaica and Australia were set to be playing. We've got, they've all recorded wins so far today. So us as the hosts will play for the second match shortly against Sri Lanka. We've got eNCA's Hloni Mtimkulu, who is in Langa, Cape Town, and she joins us live for the very latest on the particular World Cup. Hloni, a very good afternoon to you. And has a World Cup fever taken over in Langa? We do know that South Africans are synonymous with celebration and great festivities when something big is happening. Tell us about the atmosphere that you have enjoyed there so far.
Yeah, so if you are Langa, I'm just stepping out of shot to show you this is one of the public viewing areas that the city of Cape Town has put up. There are 4 of them around the city. This one in Langa, there's another one in Khayelitsha, in Mitchell's Plain, as well as in Belleville South. We did hear, of course, that tickets are not affordable for everyone. They might have been priced out for locals, and so there are fan parks and public viewing areas that have been set up so that even though people can't make it to the World Cup, they are there. There aren't a lot of people here. I mean, all of these seats look, there's a bit of there are lots of empty seats actually, but we're hoping that maybe as soon as the match starts, that people will arrive. I know that yesterday they had this viewing area for South Africa's first match, that match against Wales, and it started off a little bit like this, but towards the end of the match there was a bigger attendance. So we hope that over the next few days, and certainly over this weekend with the preliminary stage, that it will be more full than this, so that people can experience the chaos of the Netball World Cup. Now, joining me to talk about that is a community member of Langa. Just first of all, tell us the thinking around having this public viewing area here, and why it's important to have this public viewing area in the first place.
It's very important because some of our people cannot afford your DSTVs, even the TV as such. So such initiatives are very key to the community, showing that those who have less than others are also considered as human beings and are respected as part of the community. So these initiatives are very important in that sense.
And we were here a little bit earlier on, and we saw that there were activities, there were games that kids were playing, especially young boys. I think they were maybe 10, 11, 12 years old, the boys that were here earlier. Just how important is that for them to be able to come here on a weekend and to participate and just be part of something like this?
It's very important for kids to be kept active because if they're not kept active with games and stuff, you know what will happen. Your drugs, your gangsterism will set in. So like some of us, when we were young as them, spaces like this were very key to our upbringing. Yeah.
Yeah, and just in terms of the turnout, okay, well, I see now there's a lot of activity on this. I think those were the boys that I saw probably earlier. Just in terms of the turnout, are you hoping that, or how do you get the community more involved and to come out here?
First of all, we have to acknowledge the weather outside was not kind to us. So that is why it's a low turnout in the Matanama. It's the weekend. There are a lot of activities within the community. So by yesterday, there were quite a lot of people in this hall. By tomorrow or Monday, the public will come out in numbers.
So we do hope that we will see more people that will be taking part from the community Langa in the Netball World Cup, not at the CTICC, but here just as part of the fan parks, the public viewing areas, because it isn't just the World Cup for those there in the city, but also for everyone else. It is the Netball World Cup for the people. It's Africa's first World Cup, South Africa's first World Cup, so as many people as possible, Refiwa, should be able to experience it.
Well, that's absolutely true, Hloni Mtimkulu. And I suppose one of the big things about the viewing areas is, like you say, to give people the opportunity to enjoy the World Cup as much as everyone else, with access to the actual sporting facilities where they take place. Tell us what we're expecting in terms of games before we wrap up, when we are set to play South Africa, and what people think we're going to be performing like.
Yeah, so in about 5 minutes, I think, yes, 5 minutes, South Africa does centre pass between South Africa and Sri Lanka gets underway from the CTICC. South Africa should easily beat Sri Lanka in that match. We saw last night against Wales, it wasn't as polished a match as we would have expected against Wales, a side that they had always beaten in 19 previous encounters, last night being the 20th one. But we expect that against Sri Lanka we should win. The big one will be tomorrow against Jamaica to see who will finish top of that group, because that has permutations for the rest of the tournament. We did beat Jamaica in 2019 to set us up well for that fourth place finish in England. So if we can do that tomorrow, although it will be a very big grudge match, and Jamaica has already said that, but if we can beat Jamaica tomorrow, that will definitely set us up well to do well for the rest of the tournament and line us up nicely for a podium finish, which is what Netball South Africa have asked and made very clear is what they want from the Proteas.
Absolutely. It's been made very clear that the cup is not leaving this country. So let's see if that will indeed be the case. Hloni, go see if you can dance as well as those young kids behind you, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later. That is sports reporter Hloni Mtimkulu there being challenged to go see if she can dance as well as those young people dancing ahead of the game between South Africa and Sri Lanka. It's